So this is a slideshow presentation that is going to talk about a study um, that pertains to elementary English language learners impacted in American education. The research questions addressed in this study are, the first research question is, are English language learners and families negatively or positively impacted in American public schools? The second research question addressed is, what are the necessary supports and interventions not being addressed for English language learners in the American education system? The third research question addressed is, what are the family necessary communicative and translation supports not being implemented in American public schools? The first chapter of the research proposal and study, these are the elements. So the significance of the study, definition of the terms, assumptions, delimitations, and limitations, and a summary. So the significance of the study, this is why we did the study. It's important that we understand English language learners as a population as they become a more prevalent part of the mainstream classroom. So in order to best understand and help these students, intervention strategies that are currently in place need to be understood and seen as beneficial or not beneficial to these populations. Um, the definition of the terms pertains to terms in this paper that help the reader understand some of the vocab presented. Assumptions, delimitations, and limitations. So we're going to assume that the participants in the study, through the interviews and the questionnaires, are objective in their responses. We're also understanding interpretations of the literature review results as being understood through the researcher's objective perspective. The answers provided in the questionnaires are expected to be answered without bias. Participants are assumed to be proficient in English language learner levels to provide answers to contribute to findings with accuracy and credibility as well. The delimitations of the study is that the researcher chooses literature reviews specific to the topic being addressed. Another delimitation is the study is specific to elementary school teachers. The limitation boundaries of the study are represented in the lack of inclusivity of all English language learner students and their parents. The study provides boundaries where there's a lack of face-to-face interaction that can be utilized to help the participants answer questions related to the questionnaire before answering the questions. The summary included in this chapter summarizes all of the elements I just described in more depth. The second chapter is the literature review, where the researcher included 20 peer-reviewed articles, all specific to the topic being addressed. The articles are interventions and strategies that are currently in place for kindergarten through third grade students, along with conclusively understanding and being picked as to benefiting or negatively impacting English language learners and their families. Chapter 3 talks about the methodology portion of the research proposal, where the participants were any English language learner was able to participate in this study, where all diverse backgrounds and cultures were encouraged to participate. Any age, ethnicity, race, gender, sexual orientation was encouraged to participate as well. The purpose of this study was to provide answers as to if English language learners and their families were being positively or negatively impacted in the American education system, and the necessary support systems needed to be integrated into curriculum for teachers to promote academic growth for all populations in this classroom.